Happy to have Charlie Hall, the Northwestern forward, on. His dad, Brad Hall, will join us coming up in a little bit. How's morale there, Charlie?
Morale is pretty great, honestly. I think after the game, after the Gonzaga game, it was a little rough, but we all are pretty happy about what we accomplished this season and about how it all went. So I think morale's pretty high, and we're excited to get back to work, too.
How fun was the ride?
Oh, it was, almost indescribably fun. It was obviously something no one has ever done before at Northwestern, so none of us had ever experienced. We didn't really know what to expect, but the way the campus reacted and all the fans and everything that was going on was just so incredibly exciting, and to be there and experience it and actually win a game, which was great. I don't think anyone was really expecting us to win a game. So to do that was really, really surreal. So it was really fun.
What was the locker room like after that win against Vandy?
I think it was probably the most excited we'd ever been. I'd say the only comparable time was when we beat Michigan at the buzzer. That was another time where our locker room was just over the moon, but we were just incredibly excited. And also, I think we felt like we deserved that. We didn't want to go to the tournament to just go to the tournament and just be there. We wanted to make some noise, and so we did what we said we were going to do. So I thought there was a little bit of it was a gratifying win as well.
Given the family tree there, with your father being very funny and your mom being very funny, more pressure for you to be funny or be a good basketball player?
Ooh, good question. I'd say a pretty decent amount of pressure for both. Obviously, I'm not an on-court guy, and I think at the tournament there is obviously a little more pressure for the guys that do play. So if I'm able to alleviate some of that, which is sort of what I was able to do all season, I think that job does become actually a little more important. So maybe being funny actually became a little more key to my role, although still obviously being a good basketball player and being good on scout team and stuff was also important. But definitely I think the ability to let my guys loosen up a little bit became a little more important.
Do you do play-by-play when you're on the bench?
I don't, although that's a good idea. Maybe I'll start doing that.
Snarky play-by-play guy, Charlie. I think that's what we do. Do you get more of is your sense of humor from your dad or your mom?
I'd say that the jokes I make are more similar to the jokes my dad makes, although the things I find funny is more similar to my mom.
Let's bring in your dad. Brad Hall, the actor, comedian, writer, producer, married Julia Louis-Dreyfus back in 1987. Brad, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, sir. So fun to be with you.
Describe that feeling when you and Julia sit down to watch a game, even these tournament games. Like, what is it like as parents watching this, knowing Charlie's probably not getting in, but you're still watching the results of your alma mater?
I got to tell you, we did not expect to be quite so pathetically involved, and by the time that they were in the tournament, if you'd let us, we would have just been weeping all day. The whole thing was so much fun, and Charlie was so happy with his role on the team, and the team was so spectacular. You got to understand that when we were there, this was not a team that was going any tournaments. They could barely get in the Big Ten tournaments, and they were members of the Big Ten. So for us, just nostalgically, it was great. But moreover, through Charlie, we got to meet all these kids that are on this team and all the parents, and this is an extraordinary group of young men. I got to say, whatever Coach Collins is doing to recruit, he's recruiting really humble, smart, hardworking, funny kids. So for us, the whole thing turned out to be just a spectacular ride.
Now, your wife makes her living being on camera, and you know you're going to be on camera, but this has to be a different feeling for her to be on camera as just a mom wanting to show up there to cheer, and even you as the dad.
Yeah, I think she forgets completely that there's any chance that she might be on camera, and because there is no fan who is screaming louder, and she actually understands the game pretty well now too. When Charlie first started playing when he was really little, she couldn't have cared less about basketball. But you go to enough of these games over the years and through high school and club and everything, and now she's a real expert, and she'll tell you exactly what she's thinking, and she's certainly telling the refs what she was thinking in the Gonzaga game. That's for sure.
Charlie, do your parents ever embarrass you during a game?
They haven't yet in college, although I would say that they did do so in middle school and high school occasionally, only because there were a little less fans, so they were a little more audible. But not
you can
much.
hear your mom, right? I mean, I would say
Oh, yeah.
even in that arena.
I mean, she gets nervous during games, and when she gets nervous, she gets louder.
Oh, give me an impression there, Charlie, of Mom.
An impression of Mom. I would, although I think I would maybe break your speaker.
It's okay. Well, we'll ride the levels there. Okay,
Great.
Here we go.
Woo! Come on. Oh, God, Brad. Oh, no. Something along those lines.
You're forgetting the expletives. That's the one.
Right, yeah, exactly. I'm keeping it clean.
Really? Mom will drop some...
She'll drop all the bombs you can get. It's unbelievable.
Charlie, your athleticism comes from Mom or Dad?
I'd say probably Dad. I don't know. Although I don't know if my mom ever played any sports. I mean,
I'm not kidding. That's true. I mean, she's tiny, but her mom's family has really big guys. I mean, 6'6" types, and I'm the tallest in my family, and I'm only 6'2". So I think the height comes from the Bowles. I mean, from the Bowles side of the family, the Lefevres.
The pressure with Saturday Night Live to this, is there any kind of parallel there? Live TV, live basketball, watching something where you knew how Saturday Night Live was going to end. You don't know how a basketball game is going to end.
No, you never really knew how Saturday Night Live was going to end. Certainly don't. But, yeah, it's very tense. It's so exciting. I mean, a game like the Gonzaga game, when they had such a miserable first half, and then they showed such grit and determination in coming back, and it became just so, I don't know if you could tell on television, but, man, in the arena, that was a game that was winnable all of a sudden, and you just can't believe it. It's like a dream. But really the thing is that we're just happy that our kid is happy. That turns out to be the overwhelming emotion, that he's so happy in college that just makes us so happy. And the fact that they're winning just is icing on the cake.
So, Charlie, we're 2 years in, and we haven't scored yet, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
But he's leading I believe that per minute, he's leading the entire NC2A in rebounds.
Yes, this is probably true. I haven't checked up on that statistic, but I would assume that that's true.
Do you keep track of your points in warm-ups?
No, although I do try and the thing I do in warm-ups is I try and dunk as early as I can. The earlier I can dunk, because I got to warm up for a bit to dunk, but the earlier I can do that, the better we seem to play. So that's become a little superstition.
Do you you're sending a message to the opposition when they look
Exactly.
and they go, holy, Charlie Hall is dunking.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are you studying, by the way, at Northwestern?
I'm an RTVF major, which is I'm a film major, which is fun.
So we're going down this road with Mom and Dad?
Yes, hopefully.
In front of the camera or behind the camera?
I don't really know, but I think probably behind the camera. I'm not a very good actor. But I haven't really decided that yet. I guess that could change, but I'm definitely leaning towards behind the camera with directing or writing or something like that.
You have any advice for him there, Brad?
Absolutely none whatsoever. I'm staying out of that one, yeah.
Does Mom get involved in this, or is this just Charlie's on his own?
You can't help yourself. You get involved a little bit, but Charlie's got his own voice and his own stuff he wants to do, and we're thrilled whatever he decides. He could be a very funny doctor or a lawyer too.
Charlie, I'd like to update here next year when you're on the bench doing snarky play-by-play and when you score, because you will score next year. I will put the pressure on Coach Collins, to run a play for you. Damn it!
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
I think that's what we need, just a little pressure.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a 3. It might be like a foul line extended 15-footer, but I just think it's going to be pure. I really do, Charlie. They're going to be.
It's going to be pure.
There's going to be posters. I mean, it's going to be emotional. It'll be.
It's going to be
coming up
monumental.
That's what I think.
Could we make a Rudy moment out of this, though, Brad? As talented as you and your wife are, is there some way that the Northwestern kids get ready to turn in their jerseys because they're angry that Charlie hasn't been able to score a basket?
I'm working on that. We're gonna do that. I think that's right. Quality minutes.
I like that. I like that. Charlie, don't let us down. I'd like to hear an update next year. Okay.
Absolutely.
Good luck with that, Brad. Great to talk to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us on.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Brad and Charlie Hall. dad and son. I like that. A little snarky play-by-play over there. Put a little microphone on him. Be good. I think we're good.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.